hello, and welcome to Leicester Fan TV and to today's watch-along. It is far too early in the morning here, but we are here for kickoff of a crucial match for Leicester City. It's Leicester City versus Crystal Palace. It's a watch-along. Won't you join us? Yes, we're going to jump right on into things as kickoff will be very, very soon. I can already see some of you mentioning it in the comments. There is very little change to this Leicester City side. In fact, there's only one change, and that is that Johnny Evans, who we did receive information that was going to be an injury scratch for this game, is replaced by Dana Marte. Otherwise, this side remains unchanged from the loss to Bournemouth, the only other change being that Youri Tielemans will take the captain's armband from the injured Johnny Evans. No changes to the starting lineup for Crystal Palace from their last game. They will play 4-3-3 formation. So, yeah, a lot of people are not happy with this kind of lineup from what I've been seeing. Already seeing Chris with a score prediction. I'll admit, this is kind of the score prediction that I'm seeing as well. I would love to be proven wrong. I've never given a Leicester City loss as a score prediction before, but I can't see it ending any other way than 3-1 to Crystal Palace. Hayden, thanks for tuning in. All of you, thanks for tuning in. We are just about to kick off as the players take the knee. We're going to get that score banner on there, and I'll give you some timing updates throughout the match as well so that you can get synced with us as we have just kicked off. Crystal Palace attacking to the left of your screen if you are watching at home. Already trying a long ball that will be collected by Timothy Castagna in the right wing position. Fee, thanks for tuning in. Obviously, we're all going to be hoping for the best with this match, but this has been one of the toughest times to be optimistic as a Leicester City supporter, at the very least since I started supporting this club. And definitely since I was able to actually start watching matches for this club at about 2015-ish, 2014-ish. Leicester City coming on the attack now. Captain Youri Tielemans lays the ball off for Castagna, who has a lot of room on that right wing. He plays across into the penalty area that will be cleared by Palace. AV, we'd love to see it. Obviously, on form, I feel like a lot of people are going to favor Palace in this match. Danny Ward on the ball. He'll pass it over towards Dana Marte, the new addition for this match. Yeah, a lot of us will be hoping for a Leicester City win, but definitely on paper, I don't think anybody of us would have called Leicester City win an upset, particularly last season or the season before then. But it has just been a horrific start to the season for Leicester City. Brendan Rodgers is going to be feeling under some pressure for this match. I think I wish I could remember which reporter I saw it from. I want to say it was Rob Dorset. It's one of the first times that I'd seen a concrete number put down of an expectation of points from leadership within the club. And it was a statement saying that allegedly, Rodgers had been told that he needed to get 6 points out of Forest, Bournemouth, and Crystal Palace. And short of that, what that means is that this is a must-win game. A draw will not do. A loss will certainly not do. He used up his loss against Bournemouth. With all that said, it's going to be very difficult, but at the same time, if we put our optimistic hats back on, we could be out of the relegation zone by the end of this match. We could stay out of the relegation zone through the end of this match week. All we need is a win, a draw between Nottingham Forest and Wolves, and a loss for Southampton, and we will be back in safety as James Justin gets taken down outside the penalty area, and that will be a free kick to Leicester City. 2 minutes 50, 51, 52, 53. If you would like to get synced up with us, I'll be honest, seeing the replay on that now. The contact is very light on Justin's back leg. It probably is enough to It probably is enough to trip him if you're running at full tilt, but I can definitely see why Anderson feels hard done by for the free kick to be given. Leicester City crowding that penalty area. Dan Amarte coming forward. Andrea, I think we're all going to be hoping to see a little bit of Dhaka brilliance. Definitely a hard time for Zambian supporters with what's happened to Enoch Mwepu as well. It will be Madison to play in an in-swinging free kick. Drives it in, and it's punched away by Guaita. It almost leaves you uncertain whether or not Madison was going for goal there, or if he just got fortunate with the curve on his cross there. But a good chance for Leicester City there, but very heads-up goalkeeping from Guaita. Heads-up goalkeeping, something that I don't think Leicester City supporters have gotten to see for the last little while. As Leicester City forced to play the ball back, and Dan Amarte misplaces his pass, lays it off to Odson Edward. He's one-on-one with Woutfas, who will get in there and make the tackle. But 4 minutes and 11 seconds for Dan Amarte to make his first mistake on the game. One thing I will say, though, I know a lot of people rightfully put a lot of criticism on Woutfas for his performance in the second half against Bournemouth. But one thing that I think that we saw from him in that game that gives me cause for optimism is that he plays a much more physical game than a lot of our traditional defenders do. A little bit of like Soyuncu in his prime, the kind of stuff that we like to see from Wilf and Ndidi, the ability to chase down an attacker and knock them off the ball more so than just trying to close off that angle. And Palace will get a free kick off of a shoulder barge from Sumare there. Pretty much a mirror image to the free kick that was given against Anderson. A check in the back of, I think that's of, that's on the back of Schlupp. Again, just on the outside of the penalty area. Realistically, that will offer both crossing and shooting opportunities. Kim, you have as many questions as I do seeing this lineup. He says that he chooses players based on form, but realistically, like, I almost feel pity for Danny Ward at this point, that he keeps getting put in the firing line. Schlupp will play a low cross. It's laid off. Finds Doucouré. He lays it off for Zaha, who will try to curl it into the top corner, but that is high, wide, and not very handsome. Danny Ward plays the goal kick short to Fass, and at the moment we are playing quite slowly right now. I think we're just going to be waiting and looking for an opening here and just seeing if we can play through it quickly. Let me know where you're tuning in from. So obviously for any of you who are new to the channel for this stream, if my accent doesn't tell you, so I am Canadian. It is very early at the moment. Woke up at 6:30 to tune into this match. I mean, I keep a focus on other teams, but not really enough to be able to comment on things like form across multiple games. It's just enough to get like a little scouting report for when we play against them. And they obviously did very well against us. One of my best friends is a Spurs fan, and I know that he's having a much better season than we are. I don't see them making a title charge, but they're doing well. Wilf Zaha tackled by Yuri Tielemans there, and the ball will go out for a throw-in just on the border of Leicester City's defensive third. Roy tuning in from Zambia as well. Scottish Joe tuning in from Glasgow. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way. The midweek match, or midday matches here. Definitely the outlier in the Premier League schedule. I mean, honestly, if you were to put a Leicester City player into your FPL for this week, you'd choose Madison. He's the one that can really create chances out of nowhere. You know, so that's where I'm from. So always glad to hear someone who spent some time in Toronto. It's a lovely place. We just started getting pret-a-manger locations in Toronto now. I'm excited to get a little taste of that again after having it when I was in the UK. Leicester City playing defensive at the moment. AV tuning in from Las Vegas. So it's even earlier out there for you than it is for me. Michael, who normally co-commentates with me, he's based out in Seattle. I was going to expect him to be up and ready to broadcast at 4:30 in the morning. But AV, if I recall, that should mean that it's about 5:30 in the morning for you where you're tuning in here. I know we get some fans tuning in from Australia as well. The international support tuning in at all hours of the day to watch Leicester City. Hayden, you're tuning in from the UK. 12:30. It's nice to have a good midweek match, or I keep calling it midweek. It's early in the morning. Have some pity on me. It's nice to have those midday matches where you can still have that entire day ahead of you after the match. And there you go. So yeah, Josh, you're tuning in from Sydney, so it's probably early evening there. Oh yeah, I could imagine that being locked down at Queen. So Queen and University, that's like the western border of our financial district, basically. So you're like in the heart of downtown. So with in lockdown, that was a very, very quiet part of Toronto. 4:40 in the morning there in Las Vegas for people tuning in. 10:30 p.m. kickoff in Sydney. And then ADZ, you're asking there. So I'm not very vocal about it, but as it stands, I'm Rogers out. But the lady is for turning. If this form gets turned around, I'll very quickly back him again. But I had where I finally turned was the loss to Brighton. I'd said that we needed to get at least 4 points out of Brighton and Aston Villa, and then we immediately put on a horrific performance against Brighton, and I just couldn't back him after that. I still want to see him turn it around, but I just think we need the new manager bounce more than anything else. As Crystal Palace come forward on the break, it's Wilf Zaha on the right wing, plays it across the penalty area and lays it off. But it's a missed shoot by Eze. Anderson will reclaim, but Daka does a good job of making himself big and blocking that shot, and he gets clipped by Anderson there, and that will be a free kick. You could kind of imagine that would be a booking for Anderson, and it is, as he wasn't quite the last man, but that definitely stopped a promising attack for Leicester City there. Patson Daka putting the work in early there. Ooh, it's unfortunate for Daka there. He nearly jumps over Anderson, but Anderson just clips the trailing leg. And again, that's the kind of tackle that Anderson might feel hard done by because he came so close to not making contact there. Vieira just offers a little finger wag there. 10 minutes, 51, 52, 53 for those of you watching at home as well. Timmy Castagna with the ball on the right wing, but he just miscontrols it there. Oh, and absolutely sends Wilf Zaha to the deck. No free kick given, and now Leicester City on the break there, but Madison misplays his pass to Daka there. Just a bit of poor communication between the two players there, and it will be a throw into Leicester City at the border of the attacking third. Leicester City trying to play very quickly, but making some mistakes there. Yuri Tielemans misplays the throw. But there's a little bit of fire in the belly of Leicester City here, something that I don't think we've seen in a lot of our losses this season. Suffice to say, some of the players here are feeling the pressure of our current league position. Dan Marte on the ball now. Out onto the left wing, it's Justin. And Fast tries to play a long ball towards Madison there. Little bit too far for Madison to be able to get clear of his man, and it will be collected by Guaita in the Palace goal. A little bit of a damning stat. I was listening to the When You're Smiling podcast, and they were mentioning that if Leicester City had won every point that they had available to them from a scoring position, we could be as high as third this season. And devastating as that is to hear, I think that also does make us, it gives us cause for a little bit of optimism to know that, like, we can take leads, and if we can just solve that to hold on, we can take points and climb back up that table. Even where I do sit on Brendan Rodgers, I do still believe that our league position deceives. I think that we could and should be much higher in the table, even if it's just languishing in mid-table. Although, as I say that, Otton Edouard gets a lot of space there. He lays it across the penalty area looking for Wilf Zaha, who would have been open with an open goal shot there, but it just gets cleared by Timmy Castagna. How many points in the next 3? So if I recall, our next 3 should be this match against Crystal Palace, Leeds United, and then Manchester City, I believe. I don't know if we have another game in between Leeds and Man City. I'm going to quickly check. There's no other scores around the horn to need to update you on, so I don't have my fixtures list ready and available. So I'm just pulling that up now. Please have a little patience with me. Eze coming forward for Palace now. He lays it off again, looking for Zaha, but Castagna is wise to the pass and shields that. So Leeds Wolves. Palace leads Wolves. How many points do I think we need from those 3? 9. How many points do I think we're going to get from that 3? I want to be optimistic on that, and I'm going to be ambitious here. I'm going to say 7. I think if we can take a win against a team that is actually Premier League quality, then that can be that momentum turner that we need. The win that we got against Forest was great. It was an electric match, but realistically, that team is going to be relegated. They're not a Premier League team. They are disorganized. They were forced to be disorganized by a bunch of their players leaving after promotion, but we can't take Forest as a turning point as I had hoped and thought at the time. But yeah, optimistically, I'm going to say 7. Realistically, I think we might be as low as 4 to even 2 points out of those 3 games. So yeah, no tint saying we'll get nothing with Brendan Rodgers in charge. It's difficult to see us getting points with Brendan, but clearly Top has faith that Brendan can turn this around. I want to find that faith. I just struggle to find it at the moment. Derek saying not much ball possession so far, not feeling confident. I'd say that we're probably close to about 50-50 in possession, which is low for Leicester City standards. The way that we've been playing, we do normally sit on about 60-70% possession. What concerns me more is that the runs that Crystal Palace have been making have been far more productive than Leicester City's. They've been finding more open spaces. They've been running in with more speed than we have been. And that is what scares me, because they're buying a lot of tickets for the raffle, and sooner rather than later, one of those is going to find the back of the net. I agree. I think there was a lot of changes that needed to be made. Harvey Barnes dekes into the penalty area. 1-2 with Daka. Guaita comes out, collects the ball, and it's just cleared by Crystal Palace, but a good quality chance there. I was feeling very good after seeing that 1-2, and that is the kind of play that we knew and loved from this club last season, the kind of things that made us sing Rodgers' praises. And we need to find that confidence to make those plays routinely again. Foot fast on the ball. And he'll play it to Amarte. Absolutely. That was very, very close. Definitely the most gilt-edged chance of this match so far. And we try to play it again, but it's intercepted before it can make it to Harvey Barnes. But Justin will come forward. He gets tackled, and it will be a throw into Leicester City in that attacking position. Harvey Barnes just doesn't get a lot of the ball. I don't know if it might be a consequence of his runs, but when he gets on it, you get the chance of getting some moments of brilliance like that. He's also definitely one for shooting outside the penalty area. And immediately we try that play again. Quick 1-2, a pass and run between Barnes and Madison there. Ooh, and Sumari misplays the the ball that's thrown into him. Tielemans forced to make a challenge, and that will be a free kick to Crystal Palace. Neil tuning in from Hinckley. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. 79 of you tuning in so far. If you're enjoying the stream, please drop a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you want more Leicester City content. There's far more people than just me on this channel, and far more people actually from Leicestershire as well. We give analysis all through the week in addition to the watch-alongs on the weekends. Leicester City passing the ball around the back right now, trying to pull Crystal Palace out of their shape. This Fuss lays the ball over to Dewsbury Hall, trying to move this ball forwards. Sumare now in the center. He'll lay it off for Castagna. Dominic, an Eagles fan tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. We do also get fan views as well. We'll put a link in at full time for very, very brief views before I hand you off to our post-match. Cross across the goal there by Leicester City, and it nearly finds a Fox in the penalty area, but it will be chested down and cleared, I believe, by Grehi. Promising again from the Foxes there. So you're saying you think Leicester will win this, but you're hopeful. I think this match could go either way. Both teams are rather out of form. Both teams are kind of facing that specter of relegation. Another one, too, that finds Harvey Barnes in the penalty area. He gets knocked down. Castagna just can't get to the ball in the penalty area again. The defending from both teams here has not been good so far, offering far too much space to attackers in the penalty areas. Dana Marte, we criticize him a lot, but he does well to make himself big and get in front of Wilfred Zaha there to dispossess him. Damien Duff, legend of the game, saying, must say bright start from the Foxes. Barnes. There's positives and negatives to take from our play so far, and it's pretty much the same thing that we always expect from Leicester City. We've been very, very positive moving forward, but our defense has still looked shaky. This match could go either way. 20 minutes in, I'm going to do a quick check on the stats here. Where are my match stats? One shot to two in favor of Crystal Palace, but Leicester City with the only shot on target so far. 54% possession in favor of the Foxes, and a pass accuracy of 86%. Palace not been that accurate with their passing. Project EXT saying, a United Celtic fan from Singapore. I think Leicester is important to the EPL. You guys must stay up. I mean, you don't have to tell me as a Leicester City supporter. I definitely want us to stay up as well. If for nothing else, as an overseas supporter, I can't watch the championship. So I'll be kind of up the creek with no paddle if we get relegated. I really like what Leicester City add to this, add to the league. I was hoping that we could kind of take the mantle of what Everton was in the early 2000s, as that kind of non-Big 16 that provides challenges, as Daka is given space for a shot there. He takes it after one touch and forces Guaita into a standing save there. It was comfortable for Guaita, but you still have to have solid hands there. And he makes that save, giving away a corner kick to Leicester City. First corner of the game, I believe. We'll double check that. Yes, first corner kick of the match goes to the Foxes. Dana Marte is in the penalty area. We're crowding players in there. Looks like that might be Daka, who's the short option. But we play the cross in. Header won't find fast. It's cleared by Palace for another corner kick off of the captain, Joe Ward. Joe Ward? Joel Ward? Jay Ward. Joel Ward. Madison to take this one again. You get the feeling that that's going to be an in-swinging corner then. The commentators here saying that you'd imagine it's going to be right on top of the head of Guaita. Corner played in. Ooh, punched clear over the head of, I think of Dan Amarte there by Guaita. Big cross coming in, will be collected by Guaita ahead of James Maddison. We're making him work. We're making Guaita work here. Mike St. Barnes trying to walk it into the net. You know what? It can be tough as you receive those 1-2 passes to have it with your footing set to actually create the kind of shot that you need to beat a goalkeeper. Please have patience with me if I got to slow down my speech or stumble a little bit. It's very early in the morning here. Zaha lays it off. Finds Eze. He gets around Castagna, but is forced to turn around. Mitchell now. Zaha overcooks the pass to Eze, but he does collect it. Lays it off for Ward, onto the wing to Ayew. Back to Ward, cross into the penalty area, cleared by Castagna. Daka on the break here. 1 against 3. He's broken clear from Anderson. Gahey closing in on the penalty area. Lays it off. Dewsbury Hall now. Tielemans on the outside of the area. Gets tackled. Palace pass, though, intercepted. Leicester pass intercepted. Palace with their backs to goal. They lay it off to Mitchell and play will calm down. Do Leicester need to change in the scouting department for better recruitment? I think the recruitment is kind of one of the things that Leicester City has always prided itself on. We've definitely been shaky in more recent years, but I think a lot of that has more come down to crisis management. You know, worries with the funding, the need to make last-minute signings due to things like injuries. That's where you end up with your Yannick Vestergaards and your Ryan Bertrands. I still believe in our scouting. Zaha turns and loses Castagna, but tracking back, Tielemans and Fast will knock him off the ball. Coming forward again, though, Crystal Palace. Eze up the middle, lays it off. Zaha on the ball. He's forced to turn around and play it towards Mitchell. Slavic saying Leicester will win. You know what? It's been positive from Leicester City with some of those attacks. Both teams here are hungry, and I think it's only a matter of time before one of the defenses blinks first. Patson Daka is up for this game. He runs down and tackles Ward, nearly starting a break all on his own, but there were two Crystal Palace defenders there. But we come forward again. It's Daka on the left wing now, up against Ward. He's forced to hold up the ball, though, and Palace can get back in numbers. He turns around and plays the ball back to Justin, who will go all the way back to Dan Amarte. But Leicester City keeping their players forward here. And Fast will play the ball back to Danny Ward. 27-minute clean sheet so far for Danny Ward. Fast on the ball. He'll pass it forward towards Soumare. Soumare finds Maddison. Maddison to Dewsbury Hall. We're running forward now. Maddison on the ball. He'll lay it off to Castagna. He's got space. Finds Tielemans on the wing. His cross is blocked. It'll be a throw-in the Leicester City attacking third. Throw-in play to Maddison. Maddison plays it across to Justin. Barnes shakes his man there. May have gotten a little kick in the back there as he turns, but no free kick given, and Wout Faes will collect. Amarte plays the ball to Tielemans. Castagna. Soumare. Tielemans again. Maddison. Ooh, he fakes out his man, but Daka misplaces the pass, and it will be intercepted by the Palace defense. Tielemans tackles his man, and that'll be a free kick. 27 minutes, 45, 46, 47 in this match. We force Palace to turn around, and the ball is all the way back to their defenders there. Excuse me. Not a matter that the match is boring, just a matter that the match is early for us in North America. Edward is fouled by Fess, and it will be a free kick to Crystal Palace. Yeah, Fess just overreaches with the leg and clips the trailing leg of Edward there. Takure lays the ball back towards Anderson, and it's out onto the wing. Ayu making the break, and a good sliding challenge there by Wout Faes. And those are the kinds of tackles that I'm talking about, that like we hadn't seen that very much from our defense, but Wout Faes does a good job of getting in there and making those challenges. And those were the kind of things that we heard from supporters of Stade de Reims as well before we signed him, was that he can be one of those like old school physical defenders, and we've needed one of those. I think they were kind of what we were hoping for from a big man like Yannick Vestergaard as well before he really wasn't what we expected. Free kick is played in as a cross, goes across the penalty area, and will be headed up and over the net. Just checking who it was that won that header. I think it was Edward. No, it was their number 6, Gehi, wins the header but plays it up over the net. I think Ward would have had that covered if it was on target. But also seeing on the replay there, he may have been found offside had that ball found its way into the net. Palace playing a high press. Fast will play the ball off of the Crystal Palace player so that Danny Ward can pick it up. Ward will throw the ball out onto the wing towards Justin, who then goes up the center to Sumare, over to Madison, and back down towards Justin. Amarte now on the ball. Damien Duff saying James Madison doesn't get enough credit. He gets plenty of credit from Leicester City supporters. We basically see him as the backbone of this team right now. And the player that I kind of hope in the future, be it Rodgers or another manager, that we build the rest of this team around. Castagna is dispossessed, and now it's Mitchell coming forward. He lays it off trying to find Edouard, but that will be intercepted. And it looks as though Mitchell might have picked up a knock or some cramp because he's on the ground. And Palace will play the ball out for a throw-in so that he can receive some medical attention. Instead, you're just speaking with him there. Not sure if it may have been a twist or something. He was limping on that last play. This looks like it might be more than just cramp. So a break in play, 31 and a half minutes into this match, and it remains 0-0. Adam Tucker saying, how can Yuri still be in the starting 11? He's so slow and slows down the way that we play. Not the player that he was. He needs to be dropped. You know what? He hasn't been perfect this match, but I think he's definitely been better than his form this season would lead you to think at the start of the match. There hasn't really been like a letdown player on the team so far. We've probably been about 6s and 7s across the board. Nothing impressive and spectacular besides maybe some of those 1-2s that we were seeing between Madison, Barnes, and Dewsbury Hall. Definitely a good match by Patson Daka so far, but also nobody really letting down the team. Zaha having some words with Vieira, likely some tactical advice on making those runs that he has been making so far. On feet, definitely limping. Substitution who you would bring on. Hello, apologies for that. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me again. Looks as though there was a brief internet outage on my end. I should be up and running again, but please let me know that you can hear me again, that you can see me again, that I'm back on stream. The match does remain 0-0 as Crystal Palace are coming forward. Eze tries to lay it off for Edouard, but the pass is misplaced. So yes, again, my apologies for that. But knocking on wood, my internet should be back up and running, and we should be good to go. 38.5 minutes played, 38-27, 28-29, if you do want to get synced back up with me. So for those of you who may not know, so by being Canadian, I watch the Premier League matches through a streaming service that has the broadcasting rights. So if my internet ever goes down like that and I then have to reload the page, I normally don't end up synced up to the same spot where I used to be. Looks like there might be another injury here for Crystal Palace. Doucouré on the deck right now. Thank you both for letting me know. And once again, my apologies for cutting out of the stream there for a brief moment. Gareth Southgate is in attendance for today's match. So I know a lot of Leicester City supporters will be hopeful that he's there to evaluate James Maddison's performance, get him on that plane to Qatar. I might be one of the few Leicester City fans that won't be heartbroken to not see him go, purely because it gives a better chance to my Canada at the World Cup to see a weaker England squad on there. But thinking with English-colored glasses on, he's got to go to Qatar. Good pass from Daka there, finds Harvey Barnes. He's marked by two players, forced to turn around and pass it over to Justin, and we will go back to the center backs. But again, Leicester City coming forward there, trying to get a positive attack going. Barnes lays the ball off for Dewsbury Hall, who tries to spin past his man and does. And Schlupp will give away a free kick in a dangerous position for pulling on the shirt of Dewsbury Hall. That won't be a shooting opportunity, but that will be an excellent chance for a good cross to be played in by James Maddison. We are again crowding that penalty area. Both Fass and Amarte in the Crystal Palace penalty area here. Tielemans and Dewsbury Hall will be running in. There are options outside the area as the cross comes in. Will be punched clear by Guaita and booted clear by Zaha. Justin will hoof it back into the penalty area. Headed away by the Palace defense. Booted back in again by Dewsbury Hall. Cleared again by Crystal Palace. Ayew on the ball, lays it off. And Doucouré is fouled by Barnes. Three shots, 2 on target for Leicester City. 4 shots, 0 on target yet for Crystal Palace. So Guaita remains the only keeper to be tested so far this match. Castagna gives the ball away. Palace coming forward now with Schlupp. Lays it off to Zaha. Eze on the outside of the penalty area. Shoots from distance and parried over the top of the net by Danny Ward. So Ward's first save of the game there, 42nd minute. I'll answer that just as I see the replay on this. Yes, so Danny Ward just gets his fingertips to it. But a goal kick is given. So looks as though the referees don't think that Ward made contact with the ball there. Who's the likeliest to get the Leicester job if Rodgers gets sacked? The thing is, so I was about to say, like, Leicester supporters will say Sean Dyche, but I don't think ownership wants Sean Dyche. I've warmed to the idea of him a little bit, but I did hear, I wish I could give credit. I don't remember which analyst it was that said it. But the thing with Sean Dyche is that he has kind of become typecast by the tactics that he was forced to work with Burnley. And as a result, the appointment of Sean Dyche would not project ambition to the footballing world. And I think Leicester City need to continue to look ambitious in order to attract the kind of talent that we want to, particularly from leagues like the French League, where we do a lot of recruitment from. And the appointment of Sean Dyche would not help us with that recruitment. And I can see that being why leadership has been reluctant to either sack Rodgers or begin to like publicly announce interest. From what I recall, I did see some recent posts mentioning that I think we were beginning to scout the current manager of River Plate in Argentina. James Maddison coming forward now. He lays it off. Dewsbury Hall finds Barnes on the wing. Justin crosses in. He's looking for Castagna. He finds Castagna, who can't control the ball, and that is out for a goal kick. He was well onside, but yeah, he tries to control it with his chest, and he just doesn't get his angle right, and it goes out for a goal kick. Yeah, I'm going to double check what the name is of that manager. That is Marcelo Gallardo. I did see that there's now these are all just rumors. I cannot give any sort of professional credence to it. In 2 minutes of added time in this first half is that I would say, like, if we were to sack Rodgers, Gallardo would probably be that first target on Top's list. Is Leicester City coming forward now? James Maddison on the edge of the penalty area lays it off for Tielemans. His cross gets blocked. Throw into Leicester City. Liam asking Palace yet to have a shot on target. Have we defended well, or have Palace been poor? I feel the latter there for the taking. A little bit of both. Palace have definitely had some good opportunities that they have not taken. But particularly Wout Faes has done a good job of being physical and bringing the match to some of these other Crystal Palace players. As Dewsbury Hall has taken off, booking for, I think that's a booking for Doucouré, but I'll keep you posted on that. I just didn't get the chance to see the back of his shirt. Yes, so Doucouré enters the book for that tackle on Dewsbury Hall, and this shot, or this free kick, is within Maddison's range. Damien saying, would love to see Ruben Amorim from Sporting. The thing with Amorim is I've seen rumors linking him to multiple different Premier League sides. The thing with Amorim is that he doesn't want to leave Sporting from some of the rumors that I've been seeing, because I know he was also linked with the Wolves job. We know how much Wolves like recruitment from Portugal. But yeah, it looks as though he's pretty set to stay at Sporting. Cross comes in from Maddison, doesn't find anybody, but finds Tielemans on the edge of the penalty area. He lays it off for Barnes, whose shot is blocked. 1 minute and 50 seconds of the 2 minutes have been played. You get the feeling that is going to be the last chance of this first half, as we are taking our time with this throw, and it looks like we are just happy to play in to halftime 0-0. Throw in taken. Ball goes over. Plenty of people will be cleared. And that is halftime at the King Power Stadium. And it remains 0-0 between the two clubs. Liam saying, Daka has been lively. Glad he managed to get back-to-back starts. His link-up with Maddison is great at times. Absolutely. Daka has probably been our best player on the pitch. Madison probably a close second. Barnes has also had some shining moments, but just hasn't seen much of the ball. Now, with it being halftime, that means it's time to get you guys onto the camera. So I've just dropped a link in the chat. Feel free to click on that link. Turn your camera on, enter your name in so that I know who you are. And we would love to have you in so that we can chat. We can discuss how this match has been going so far. Jay's saying our passing needs to improve. There's been places where it's shined and places where it's definitely let us down. In that attacking third, we've done well, but I think one of the problems that we've been having has been with our passing in midfield and the ways that we've been setting up for those good attacks, because we've definitely needed our we've just needed one good positive attack, much like the one that set up Patson Daka, the one that set up Madison. If we can find the net with that, we just need that lift in order to get us some of that positivity. Scott saying Palace attacking up the left, up the right, down the middle, Leicester up the left. That's it. It's so predictable. In ways, it has been predictable. We definitely favor that left side. We normally do. But we have had some positive attacks through Castagna on that right wing. So it hasn't all been exclusively on that left wing. I think where some of that may be coming from is, I'm going to pull that lineup back up. It's from the fact that Madison definitely favors coming up the middle for attack. So as a result, he leaves that right wing open by cutting inside. And I don't blame him for that. I personally think that Rodgers is playing him well out of position by putting him on that right wing. He's definitely better suited to play just behind the attacker, maybe even in a midfield three more so than in a midfield four. Definitely not on the wing. So as a result, he's just trying to get back into his favorite position, and that leaves that right wing open in a way that we just don't rely on it as much. Peter saying, not sure about this game, poor at times. But from both sides, it's definitely it's definitely there for the taking for either team. And I would say, knocking on wood as I say it, so far, Leicester City looks like the team more likely to take a lead from this match. Liam saying, Fast looks solid. He does a job. I think we have a good defender. I completely agree. He definitely got a lot of criticism after the Bournemouth match. Definitely where he was a little woeful. Definitely in the periods where we let those goals in. But he brings a physicality to the defense that I think we've definitely been missing. And I'm glad to see him. I'm glad to see him kind of starting to come into his own in that way. That's not what I wanted to put up on screen. I'm trying to delete that comment. Nick saying, why does Rodgers persist on matters on the right? He's wasted there. Yeah. There's some decisions that Brendan Rodgers makes tactically and in his lineups that are very stubborn in his ways. We know that he definitely favored Ayoze Perez as a winger for a great long time, and then suddenly Perez just cannot get a thought. I really wanted to see Perez getting into some of the strike rotation, really, kind of getting to be like a bit of a substitute player for Patson Daka in certain matches. But at the very least, I think he's more suited to that right wing position than James Madison. And it would leave us the opportunity to sort of take out and rest Tielemans and Dewsbury Hall when they've been more off of form. Albrighton as well. I mean, I absolutely adore Mark Albrighton. He's probably my favorite player in this squad, has been for a long time. I love the guy. I think the problem with Mark Albrighton is that he doesn't have the stamina left in him to play for a full 90 minutes. And that's why he might not get the match time that he does, as particularly in the starting lineups. We haven't performed well when he starts for us. So as a result, he might be one of those players being saved for the Brendan Rodgers substitution hour of the 60th minute. Let's see what else people are saying here. Danny Ward, bad decision, says Scott Simpson. I know so many Leicester City fans have been crying out for some match time for Daniel Iverson. I don't know why he continues to rely on Ward. I feel like part of it might be just trying to get Ward's confidence back up, but he said that he was going to rotate his keepers more, and he just hasn't been. Phil saying, can't understand why Vardy's not playing again. I think we're slowly starting to see like the swan song of Jamie Vardy's career. He's going to be rotated more into that kind of substitute role, the player who can really pick things up for us in the latter parts of a game with his pace, but not someone who's relied on with that kind of stamina for a full 90 minutes. Curtis bringing in Jamie's famous advice that if you can't win this one, let's not lose it. Absolutely, we just need to get points. At the very least, a draw here gets us out of last place, but we do have to start looking for wins, and I still think that this match is there for the taking for us, and I want to see us get out of this relegation zone. We're wearing black until we're out of it, and I want to start rotating. I paid good money for the LG shirt. I want to wear it on a stream. So let's get a win. Let's get out of this relegation zone. Notin saying he doesn't know who to play and where to play him. He's just flapping at selections, formations, and substitutions. Nick with a long comment here. Amarte and Soumare fluffing their lines, and we're lucky Palace haven't capitalized on their mistakes. Better football played in the last 20 minutes. Still an edgy game. Need to start dominating the midfield, but that's not going to happen with Soumare. Bring Pratt on. The thing with the Soumare and Amarte have been on and off. For where they've also fluffed their lines, I've definitely seen positivity from them. Even from Dan Amarte, where he made himself physical and got in between Zaha on the ball, didn't give away a foul, won the ball there. I'm falling a little bit behind on the chats, but I will get all your comments up on screen as well there. Niall saying, am I the only one screaming at KDH Soumare? It even matters at times when we get the ball in space in midfield. It takes us so long to break, and somehow the ball ends up back in our half. I think that falls a little bit onto our tactics as well. Like, we try to hold the ball until we find an overt opening rather than trying quick passing to open up those players. And so, yeah, I don't really blame the players for that, but I think that kind of falls more on Rodgers. Scott saying, I'm going to say it, I miss Hamza. I don't think we'd be getting any more from Hamza than we get from Soumare personally. Nick, so this is talking about Mark Albrighton. He's the vice captain with Evans out. We need some leadership on that pitch. I think we're going to see Mark Albrighton come in probably around that 50th, 60th minute mark. Hopefully he can start to marshal that midfield. But the thing with Mark Albrighton, and again, I love the guy, but he's not so much a leader on the pitch. He's more one of those nice characters who can lift spirits, but he's not a commander in that way, if you know what I mean. Jake saying Rodgers is a bit weird. He backs a player in for too long, then freezes him out completely like Vestergaard and Perez. Yeah, I don't know why Perez can't get any match time. Vestergaard, he's been poor. I mean, he shipped 7 in an under-21s match against Fulham. I feel like we're not going to see Vestergaard play in a Leicester City shirt again. And yes, Fast has been doing well in this match so far. Liam saying Ward hasn't been tested when he does goal. I still think that he got his fingertips to that shot by, I believe it was by Edward on the outside of the penalty area. So you know what? I don't have faith in Danny Ward, but I'm not going to rag on him when he still has a clean sheet so far. Scott saying Daka's doing okay. He'd be better with another man up top, Perez or Iheanacho. I'd agree with that. I think, again, that's another one of those, like, we have been calling for a front two for a very long time. These players need somebody to vibe with, someone that they can play quick 1-2 passing with, and they haven't been getting that tactically from us yet. And yeah, I'd love to even like in a pinch at James Maddison, but we're not wanting for attacking players. We have them available to us, and we're just not getting them. Nick saying this game would suit Vardy down to the ground. Absolutely. They've been making themselves vulnerable to quick 1-2 passing and good runs. So yeah, I think of Vardy on for the second half. It could happen. We know that Brendan Rodgers doesn't play his attackers for a full 90 minutes. There will be a like for like change there. Squirrel saying the LG shirt is a bad omen. Fair enough then. I can Maybe I'll duck out quickly and grab a replacement shirt on there. It's just it arrived in the mail recently for me, so I was excited to get it up there. Lee Hinton saying, we're keeping Zaha Clyde clean sheet a must today. Hopefully nick a goal in the last 20 minutes. Fear if we score early second half, we go super defensive and invite pressure. Yeah, that's definitely been one of our biggest tactical mishaps, is how defensive we get when we do score. We don't rely on our momentum. The only time we did was against Nottingham Forest, when I think we felt like we could, because of the fact that just we were a better team than them on paper. But yeah, it definitely came back to bite us against Bournemouth. I'd be a little worried as well if we scored quickly, but let's keep that positivity rolling. Again, we haven't conceded yet. We've still got points on the board so far. Let's hold out through the second half and let's nick a goal. KDH is letting the pressure get to him. He's showing signs of doubting himself in front of goal. Yeah, fair. But at the same time as well, like, he has been part of some of those positive 1-2s as well. So I'm hoping to see some positivity with him. And yeah, Squirrel saying we got relegated with the LG shirt. Yeah, but you know what? We've also won games when I've had top styles on the backdrop too. Tim saying someone help Amarte. Liam, Samari and Yuri are just not for me. I don't enjoy watching them. I'd like our midfield to get sorted when we can in the window. We've been starting to get linked with a lot of players. I believe we're no longer within the FFP window that was giving us issues with our spending earlier. So I'm not expecting us to make any like big hallmark signings, but I am expecting some signings in January for sure. Max saying needing to do something with the possession. No use in passing all around and passing around all the time without creating chances. That's definitely one of the more frustrating things with a Brendan Rodgers side, is that we pass a lot. We have a very patient build-up play, sometimes too patient, because it then gives Crystal Palace a lot of time. It gives any defensive team a lot of time to get their shape and pressure us on the ball. And these players have shown themselves to be poor under a high press before. And what we cannot do is give Crystal Palace time to get comfortable in this game. They're just showing some highlight players for each team. And Harvey Barnes has 100% pass accuracy so far here. And that is positive to see. Jay's saying if we can get the ball up instead of passing back, we can win. And Slavic saying Vardy, Iheanacho, Perez. We're not going to make 3 substitutions at halftime, but I think it is possible that we could see a single change. They're just showing the groundskeepers making some final adjustments to the pitch, so the players will be out soon. I will let you know if I see any new faces there. Jay saying, I still feel that Rodgers should be sacked. I feel like most Leicester City fans do. I'll admit, I'm not a Rodgers backer right now. But I still, as long as he is still our manager, I want to see him succeed. I'm never going to be the kind of person that wants to see a loss to get a manager sacked or anything like that. If we have the opportunity for points, I want to see points. Dig Dave saying Rodgers will never be sacked, or he would have by now. So the thing with that, so again, I was saying I don't want to perpetuate rumors too much, but I did see an analyst saying that a concrete points target was set where Rodgers was told that he needed to get 6 points out of Forest, Bournemouth, and Palace. So it will be interesting to see what happens if we don't win this game, if that points target isn't met. Should that rumor happen to have some concrete behind it? Damien saying, what's the priority for Leicester in the January transfer window? That depends on if you ask a fan or if you ask Rodgers. I think if you ask a fan, goalkeeper. More than anything else, before we sign anybody, goalkeeper. Put Danny Ward back on that bench. Let him build some confidence back. Rodgers clearly doesn't rate Iverson for whatever reason. give him the opportunity to go on loan again, bring in a Premier League quality starting goalkeeper. We've been linked with Odysseas Vlachodimos, the current goalkeeper for Benfica. I've seen him do well with Benfica. Gotta see a goalkeeper come in. Lee saying we need to keep running at the center back on a yellow card. Should be off with one more foul. We got two Palace players on yellows right now, in both Doucouré and Anderson. So yeah, I would like to see us making runs up that middle. And NBBR saying 0-0, awful game for Leicester. It hasn't been awful so far. Realistically, the way we've been playing this season, we're not coming in with a stupid goal conceded, with like a bad defensive mistake. So let's take the positives where we can. The second half has kicked off, so let me adjust that banner. And let's get back to some match commentary. Patient passing for both teams so far as we hit the 1 minute mark of the second half. Dick Dave mentioning Casper might be coming back. I've seen the rumors about that. OGC Nice's ownership has come out and said they've refuted the rumors that Leicester City coming forward. Now Patson Daka with the shot, and it's denied by Guaita at the near post. But he is offside. So the thing with Casper coming back, I've also seen some people mentioning that there might be rules around a player playing for the same club twice within a certain period. I don't know about those rules, but they might limit Casper's ability to come back to the club. If he did come back, he'd be welcomed. I'm not sure if we'd sign him, though. And then Squirrel saying, I cannot see us attracting any decent quality manager or goalkeeper at the bottom of the league. I'm going to get back to that in a second as Harvey Barnes is in the penalty area, lays it off, and Madison scuffs his shot. Gilt-edged chance there for James Madison in the penalty area, but he sends his shot well over the net. Beautiful run from Harvey Barnes there. Finds Madison with acres of space. And yeah, Madison just doesn't have the right footing to take the one-time shot, and he scuffs it. He gestures after missing that shot that pass just wasn't where he wanted it to be. It went directly to his feet when he kind of wanted to be led on a little bit to set him up better for that one-time shot. But yeah, Squirrel, where you're saying can't attract anybody. The thing is where I think that has changed is the unwilling to spend any money because, again, that FFP lapse period has now occurred, so we're back into the ability to spend some money. And again, a win here can see us move out of the relegation zone with other results going our way. This poor run of form can be turned around and can be turned around quickly. The other thing to keep in mind is sometimes the lure of the Premier League can still attract promising players to teams that are even relegation threatened. Like I would raise you Otson Edouard. He was linked with Leicester City for a lengthy period of time and ended up going to Crystal Palace, who were definitely far more relegation threatened than we were last season. They were still under Roy Hodgson at the time. And he still went there. So I don't think that necessarily... And I think also the footballing world, as Castagna comes forward, he passes it to Daka, who tries to lay it off for Madison. Passes misplaced, but Leicester City remain on the ball. Justin, Dewsbury Hall, and Barnes with a quick 1-2. Back to Justin, Dewsbury Hall. His cross is blocked. Corner kick to Leicester. I think the footballing world knows the talent and the ambition of this Leicester City squad. They know that this is not a team that would actually stare down the gullet of relegation. They know that this is a team that still wants to qualify for Europe. And I think a player that wants to be a part of a story like that wants to be the player that turned that team around, could still come to a team like ours. And don't forget, even when we were relegation threatened, we were still bringing in players like Esteban Cambiaso. Cross comes in from Madison, headed down. Both teams claiming that went off of the other, and Leicester will get another corner kick. Anderson looking very frustrated now, and I'm just hoping that we can kind of unsettle him a little bit and get him to make a mistake, get him sent off, get him to give away a foul in a good place. He looks to me like the weak spot in this squad so far. Madison set up to play an outswinger here. He doesn't have a near pass option, and he plays in the cross, headed down and away by Edouard, but only as far as Justin, who shoots from distance, and it will go up and over the net and right into Filbert's face. Justin does well there to control the ball with one touch, volley the ball with the other, and yeah, that goes right into the mascot behind the net. Tell you what, though, Filbert does a good job of stopping that shot. So we do have another option that we can recruit for a goalkeeper there. Dan Amarte now on the ball. He's coming far forwards here and loses the ball. Why did he do that? Forces Tielemans to make a sliding challenge there. And fast, we recover. Madison now, Leicester City on the break here. Lays it off for Barnes, who breaks into the penalty area, cuts past one, finds Daka, who finds Barnes, and he just can't control it. Whoa, and Guaita collects, but we're again getting into those positions. Oh, the 1-2 with Daka was brilliant. Barnes would have been offside had that gone into the net, but still. The commentators just said we're knocking on the door here, and we really are. Thus far in this second half, Leicester have been far and away the better team. As Daka chases down Guaita, Dewsbury Hall chases down Anderson. We're making them nervous. Anderson's clearance is collected by Leicester, but it will be a free kick for a foul on Ayew. Positive here from Leicester City. Agreed. The central midfield position is definitely the more natural one for James Maddison. I don't know why we're not playing a more natural wing player or even Jose Perez on that right wing position. Oh, it's a good free kick from Palace, finds Mitchell, but his cross is well intercepted by Dan Amarte, who stops and clears that ball. Madison does well. He gets fouled, collects it, and the advantage will not be played, and it's a free kick to Leicester City. Upcoming substitution for Crystal Palace, Milivojevic will be coming on. You'd imagine that would probably be for the cautioned Anderson. Mike saying, has Daka been practicing with a balloon instead of a match ball this week? Bring. Madison is tackled, and now Crystal Palace come forward on the counterattack. Ball with Doucouré. Ayew on the wing. Back to Ward. Ayew. And we force them all the way back to Anderson. Coming forward again, it's Zaha on the wing up against Castagna. Gets past Castagna, crosses low into the penalty area, finds Doucouré, who passes it straight to Tielemans. Tielemans plays it short out of the penalty area, and we can't get the counterattack going, but we do get the ball all the way back to Anderson, who will play it back to Guaita. 54 minutes played, 54:04, 05, 06, if you want to get synced up. Dewsbury Hall and Madison starting to play a little bit of a high press, trying to force Crystal Palace into playing something quick, getting out of shape. Sumare tackles Schlupp there, but he remains on the ball. Justin and Faes all tackling Schlupp, and then a free kick given against Wout Faes for a foul on Schlupp. I thought he got the ball there. It's well played by Schlupp. Milivojevic is coming on, so that's the first substitution for either team on the day. And he comes on for Doucouré in central defensive midfield for them. And that does bring off a booked player. Milivojevic, a longtime servant of Crystal Palace. Jairo Riedewald also coming on. I don't yet know for who the Dutch player comes on. I might be mistaken there. Commentary said that Riedewald has come on. Eze takes the free kick. Cleared, but not far enough. Out onto the wing and then hoofed away by Daka. Harvey Barnes tries to chase it down, but it will go to Riedewald. So Riedewald has come on. He is on for Tyreek Mitchell. And there's a bit of a rearrangement in the Palace formation. Eddie, thanks for tuning in. It's been better than a lot of our losses. We've made some gilt-edged chances, but have yet to convert any of them, obviously, as you can see from the score there. But positives to take from the game so far. Eze comes forward but gets tackled by Soumare. Riedewald will handle the ball with his hand, and that will be a free kick to Leicester City. It's ball to hand more than hand to ball, but free kick given. Danny Ward will pass the ball to Wout Faes. Plays calm down now a little bit. James Justin. Harvey Barnes dances through 3-4 Crystal Palace players. Lays it off for Soumare, who runs forward. He lays it off, finds Castagna on the wing. Castagna shoots! Saved by Vicente Guaita. It was a tame shot, but again, another chance for Leicester City. That's Leicester City's third shot on target. Anderson now on the ball. Lays it off for Ward. Back to Anderson. He goes back to Guaita. Anderson, high cross, blocked by Soumare, but still finds... good interception. Leicester City on the attack now. Breaking. Madison fires just wide. Edouard gets dispossessed, and it starts an excellent counterattack. Beautiful pass by Tielemans to find Madison, and Madison just misses narrowly. 4 or 5 feet wide of the net there, the way it was curving, and he had Guaita beaten if that was on target. Fee, thank you very much for the £1.79 super chat. We really appreciate it, and thank you as well for the thanks. I am flying solo today, but also definitely appreciate all the chats that come in from all of you. So that way we get your thoughts in and you're not just listening to the ramblings of a sleepy early morning Canadian here. Ariu saying that Madison has been shocking today. I wouldn't say that. He hasn't found the target the way that he normally does today, but he's still been very good in his build-up play. His roles as a midfielder have still been quite good. And Dig Dave saying it's because Southgate is there. Dewsbury Hall dances through the midfield, finds Madison. He'll lay it off for Barnes on the wing. We're coming forward again. Madison wants the ball back. Barnes forced upfield. Keeps the ball in play, finds Tielemans. He crosses it into the area. Headed up. Finds Daka, who plays it back across the penalty area. Soumare, his shot, I can't even tell if that got blocked or not for how far off target that ended up being. Edouard gets tackled, and we regain possession with Wout Faes. Damien saying, should Leicester cash in on long absentees like Ricardo Pereira? Seriously, it's frustrating to see one of the best right backs to be injured for so long. The thing is, you're not going to get the money that you would deserve for a player like Ricardo while he's injured. So at this point, like, he's been a loyal servant to the club, and I think the club can reward him for that by seeing by him while he's injured as well. Where I would say we need to cash in on long injured players is, like, get Ryan Bertrand out of this club. As soon as he's healthy again, bye. Let him play for Millwall. Sell him to Doncaster Rovers. Guaita takes the goal kick short. And looks like they're happy to just kind of sit on the ball. Crystal Palace, I don't think they really are, but they're playing defensively like they would be comfortable with a draw here. Leicester City are hungry here. The one thing you have to worry about is that it just takes one mistake. If we do concede, then it's so easy for our heads to drop, and we would hate for that to happen. I'm knocking on wood just because I've said that. Although we come forward again, Tielemans lays the ball off for Madison. Madison gets tackled. 2-3 players it takes for them to dispossess Madison. Zaha coming forward now. Under pressure from Soumare, wins a free kick. Looks like Vardy is being warmed up. He's getting some tactical advice from one of our coaches. Milivojevic plays a long ball looking for Edouard. Won't find. And sorry, it was a good tackle on Edouard there by Soumare. And the nearly gives a break ball to Patson Daka, but he just doesn't get there in time. And my apologies there, I misspoke. It was Eze who had the ball there earlier, not Edouard. Zaha keeps the ball through 2-3 tackles, takes the shot, and it's blocked. Will only go as far as Ward. Ayew now on the ball. Plays it back to Milivojevic. Plays the ball to Gehi. Palace just passing the ball around right now. I know we had a Palace fan in chat. Let me know. It is pronounced Gehi, right? Like you don't pronounce the U? Let me know that in the chat. As Palace continue to just pass it around in the back. Edouard has a 1-2 with Eze. Takes the shot. And it's parried wide by Danny Ward. That's his first save of the day. It's well taken there by Edouard. And he's very well screened by many players. He plays it through the legs of Amarte. Danny Ward would have seen that late, but good reflexes by the Welsh keeper. Corner kick to Crystal Palace. They are crowding that 6-yard box. Cross comes in. Cleared by Soumare. Milivojevic, wide. Tries to take the half volley first time. Does not find the target. Thank you, Dominic. Yes, so it's pronounced Gay. Patson Daka and Soumare are both off for Jamie Vardy and Papi Mendy. Soumare's done well this game. He's definitely been tested. I think one of the big things we talked about very often was the fact that we were never sure if Soumare was going to have the physicality to play in the Premier League, and he's really coming into his own and showing some more of that, which we really need in a good central defensive midfielder. But also happy to see Papi Mendy get some time. And then Jamie Vardy, he loves a goal against Crystal Palace. Let's see that Eagle come back. Odson Edward being substituted off by Crystal Palace in favor of Michael Olise. Danny Ward takes the goal kick, plays it short to Danamarte. Onto the wing, it's with Tielemans now. Tielemans coming forward. Lofted ball, looking to switch up play to Harvey Barnes. Will find him. Barnes gets past Ward. Finds Dewsbury Hall, plays it across the penalty area. His cross is too high. Positive play from Leicester City, though. This is what we want to see. One of the big things that I would say about this match as well, and it's another phrase that I'm going to say with a big knock on wood, is that when we lose games and when we get very frustrated as fans is when it feels like we kind of roll over to the opposition, which is what we did defensively against Tottenham, against Bournemouth, against Brighton, against Brentford. This match, we have shown a lot more heart and fight and determination in our play than in many of our, basically in any game that hasn't been against Forest. So even if we take a draw here, it doesn't get us out of the penalty area. It's not the productive point scoring that we need. I would still be kind of satisfied with the game, especially since I came into this game expecting a loss. And then Dominic, you're the Palace fan. You're saying I take a 0-0 in this. It's all Leicester. Credit where it's due. You've made a couple gilt-edged chances as well. Just haven't been able to find the target. Both teams kind of suffering from the same thing there. Although I will say that's out of character for Leicester City. Generally, we've been glass cannons this season where we can score goals for fun and concede goals as a side hustle. Oh, through ball nearly finds Jamie Vardy on the break there. Very good defending there by Gay, who just like sticks his boot up to almost head height to nothing short of bicycle kick that ball away from Jamie Vardy. Maddison gets fouled there, and it will be a free kick for the foul by Zaha to Leicester City. Ball now with James Justin. He plays the ball back to Wout Faes. Lofted ball looking for Vardy. And it will be, looking for Maddison there. And it nearly finds him, but it will be collected by Guaita. "68 minutes, 1, 2, 3 so far in this match. Lofted ball, finds Jamie Vardy, breaks into the penalty area, gets tackled. Corner kick, Leicester City. It's a good point, Damien. Yeah, Palace is sitting deep, waiting for the counterattack. Olise could be the key for the remainder of the game for them. Leicester City are a very vulnerable team to a counterattack. That's where we are definitely the most fragile defensively. Corner kick comes in. Headed away. Goes back up to Maddison, though. Ooh, and he gets tackled there. Jordan Ayew. Clearance only goes as far as Papi Mendy, though. His pass to Maddison is intercepted. Palace come forward now. Olise gets past Dewsbury Hall the first time, but not the second time. No foul given. Tielemans now. Harvey Barnes. 1-2 with Dewsbury Hall. Cleared away by Joel Ward. Throw into Leicester City. Barnes lays it off. James Justin. Pappy Mendy. Fast and Mendy with a quick 1-2. Barnes forced to go back to Justin. Amarte. Castagna gets around Zaha. Goes back to Castagna. He lays it off for Madison, who has the ball on the outside of the penalty area. Shoots! Saved by Vicente Guaita. We're cooking with gas here. We just need to light the fire. Guaita's been doing very, very well so far. I wouldn't say that there's been any spectacular saves from him, but you got to do the basics to do well as a keeper, and that is exactly what Guaita's been doing. "71 minutes played. 0-2, 0-3, 0-4. Zaha, Riedewald, Milivojevic. His through ball trying to find Eze, will not find him, and it'll be collected by Danny Ward. Fies finds Dewsbury Hall. Leicester City breaking now. Lays the ball off, trying to find Vardy ahead of Anderson, which he does. And goal kick. As he tries to dip in against Gay, but it goes off of Vardy, off of Gay, and then off of Vardy again, and it will be a goal kick for Crystal Palace. Vardy absolutely shrugs off Anderson there. Goal kick taken by Guaita. Feist will clear it ahead of Jordan Ayew. Joel Ward to take the throw-in. Ball finds Anderson. Anderson to Gay. Riedewald. Plays it, looking for Zaha. Amarte. Oh! Dan Amarte gets in between Zaha and the ball and then plays a pass pretty much to Ayew that you'd swear would be the pass that Zaha wanted to make, which forces Ward to run out of his goal and clear that ball. So there you go. Amarte's made his mistake. He's gotten it out of its system. No more of that. Amarte to Feist. Mendy. Amarte. Tielemans. Looking for Vardy. Won't find him. Milivojevic now. Happy Mendy doing a good job getting himself big in the defensive positions as well, as does Dan Amarte there. Palace are dispossessed, and now it's Mendy on the ball. Mendy breaks round, finds Tielemans. Back to Mendy. Justin. Barnes. Misplaces his pass to Dewsbury Hall. Palace now looking to come forward. Schlupp gets around Mendy. Riedewald now. Plays it to Eze, back to Riedewald, back to the center backs. Gay plays it forward. Out of play for a Leicester throw-in. 74 minutes played. Time is running out for Leicester City to grab a winner here. Yuri Tielemans finds Castagna. Can't find Madison. But Castagna makes up for it. He tackles his man. Ball with Pappy Mendy. James Justin. Vote Feist. Tielemans. Madison. Passes blocked, finds Mendy. Justin. Justin forced to turn around. It goes all the way back to Face. Mike asking if we can say time is running out for Brendan. Well, like I've been saying, we were told, or I saw someone saying that we needed to get 6 points out of Forest, Bournemouth, and Palace. So who knows what we'll see if we only get 4 out of those 6. Tielemans now. Through ball, looking for Castagna. Intercepted by Gay. Clearance is intercepted by Tielemans. He gets past Milivojevic. Lays it off. Cross from Castagna. Nearly finds Barnes. Headed away by Riedewald. Back as far as Castagna. Cleared by Palace, but only as far as Justin. Mendy. Tielemans. Madison. Justin. Mendy. Madison. Amarte, Face, Mendy. And the momentum's kind of died down on that attack. Tried to switch up the play to Dewsbury Hall there, but the pass is overcooked, and that is out for a Palace throw-in. And Palace making another substitution here. Jean-Philippe Mateta is going to be coming on. And that is the end of the day for Wilf Zaha. Mike saying we're currently, quote, only 3 points from 17th. I suspect that's why Brendan is still in charge. We've seen from press conferences that Top has faith in Brendan Rodgers to turn this around. We've seen how well this team can play. We've done well in this match. We've just lacked that final touch. Joel Ward to take the throw in. Ball bouncing around. Amarte heads it forward. Madison gets pulled down, and that's a free kick in a dangerous position for Leicester City. "77 minutes played. You feel like we might see another change coming up for Leicester City. It's a little far for him to be shooting, but you'd still fancy Madison for it. He can work magic like that. James Maddison has scored more outside-the-box goals in the Premier League than any other player this season, as the commentators have just said. He stands over the ball. Him and Dewsbury Hall together. You wouldn't fancy a cross with this formation of players. He shoots. It's off the wall. Corner kick. Leicester City. I feel like KDH needs to be the player to come off here. I'd fancy an Iose Perez, really, as a substitution for him. Either that or bring on Mark Albright and put him on the wing and let Madison have that central role that he clearly wants. Cross comes in. Headed! Saved by Guaita at the far post. Timmy Castagna nearly scores from a header. Ooh, it just takes a deflection off of the Crystal Palace man. It's Joel Ward there who just gets that ball back into Guaita's reach. Throw into Palace as we are at 79, 27, 28, 29, coming up to 10 minutes left in this match. Riedewald now. Jordan Ayew. Milivojevic, Riedewald. Sorry, Eze to Riedewald. Ayew, Riedewald, Ayew. So they're trying to come up this left flank. Madison makes himself big, forces Palace to turn around, and they're all the way back to Anderson. Elise now. Ward. Back to Anderson again. Back to Guaita. Jamie Vardy slides in there and gets booked for the challenge on Gay. Yeah, unsurprising that he gets the booking for that. Substitution, Yuri Tielemans coming off. For Dennis Pratt. Dennis Pratt gets 10 minutes in this game. Ball passed all the way back to Guaita, who hoofs it upfield, and it's an offside and a free kick to Leicester City. Dominic saying if Guaita keeps a clean sheet, I'm going to start calling him Gandalf. Palace coming forward now. Cross comes in. Well cleared by Mendy. Sorry, cleared by Amarte there. Comes forward again. Amarte tries to shield. And wins the goal kick ahead of Ayew. Well done there, Dan Amarte. Dan Amarte forced to just stand on the ball there. He passes it to Castagna, who has to go back to Ward. Mendy to Justin, to Faes. Amarte. Castagna, Amarte. Eyeball, doesn't find Barnes. Ward coming forward now. Joel Ward. Plays it off to Elise, who gets tackled. Barnes maintains possession, breaks clear, but then collected by Schlupp. Milivojevic now. Riedewald. Ayew. Up against Dennis Pratt. 6 minutes to go in this game. Cross comes in, and it's over the net. That whistle to me implies there will be a substitution. It is Kelechi Iheanacho coming on. And that is Harvey Barnes who comes off. Barnes had a good match this game. Fast now on the ball. Lays it off for Amarte. Plays it back. Faes. Justin. Faes. Fies plays a long ball forward. Collected by Palace. Palace really favoring that left flank right now with Eze, Riedewald, and Ayew. Although, as I say that, they switch up play over to Anderson, who then clears the ball up towards the center. It's headed back by Fies. Oh, almost played on by Dewsbury Hall to Madison there, but collected by Palace again. Milivojevic. Plays it to Ayew. Riedewald. Throw in to Palace. 85 minutes, 45, 46, 47. Pratt comes forward, loses his man, holds up play, passes to Mendy. Madison. Justin. Forced to go back to Fast, and the crowd did not like that. Amarte. Out onto the wing. Iheanacho. Madison. Mendy. Justin. Loses his man. Crosses it in. Castagna hits it over the net. You're right, Lee. We've got one midfielder on one wing, and we've got a striker on the other wing. "87 minutes played, 03, 04, 05. Palace seem content with the draw. They are taking their time with this goal kick. Justin will collect the goal kick. Header goes off of Dewsbury Hall's hand, and it will be a free kick to Palace. Castagna gives away a corner. 88 minutes played, 01, 02, 03. As Leicester City put everybody back now. We do not want to let this slip now. Palace set up to take. Cross comes in. Cleared by Castagna. Milivojevic fouls his man, and that will be, he fouls Mendy, and that'll be a free kick. Lee's saying Rodgers again sending his message that he doesn't have the right players for the right positions, round pegs and square holes all over the pitch. Yeah. Absolutely. Dan Amarte passes the ball forwards, finds Dewsbury Hall, lays it off, trying to find Vardy, but it goes off of the defender. 89th minute, corner kick. Here we go. It's played short, finds Madison. Back to Nacho on the corner of the penalty area. He shoots, saved. Coming forward again, but intercepted by Palace. Dennis Pratt finds Iheanacho. He's coming forward, dances past 1, 2, 3, lays it off. Dewsbury Hall! Wide. Corner kick, Leicester City, 89-59. Four minutes added time. Very open penalty area, full of players for both sides right now. Cross comes in, and it's collected by Guaita, and he'll lie on that ball. Players and fans not happy with the time wasting by Guaita there. Voltfast comes forward now. Lays it off for Amarte. Got a couple more chances in us, maybe. Through ball, looking for Iheanacho. Won't find him ahead of Riedewald. Riedewald to clear. No foul on Mateta there by Amarte. Leicester City have possession again. Mendy. Justin. Madison. Definite foul there. Free kick. 91 minutes, 36. John's saying the amount of quality Leicester have, they're not playing for Rodgers. How is this not obvious for their owners? It's a tough time to be a Leicester City supporter right now. Free kick is taken, cleared by the defender. It's another goal, or it's another corner kick. Iheanacho to take, which means he's going to play it short to Madison, which he does. Plays it back to Iheanacho, who crosses it in, headed away by Anderson. Ball bouncing around, falls to Pratt, lays it off for Faes. Faes gets around his man, tries to lay it off for Madison, but it gets to the Palace player. Sean saying both teams absolutely terrible. Brendan Rodgers walks back to his technical area. 92 minutes, 45, 46, 47. Canadian, for the record. Yeah, thanks, Sean. Mike, to answer your question, can we say we squandered good chances today, or is that being too critical? I think we have. Madison's chance, a couple of the through balls have played a little bit better. I think it was Harvey Barnes missed a chance. We've made too many good chances for us to have not scored. But I say that. We come forward one more time. Jamie Vardy, Guaita will head the ball away ahead of him. We are halfway through the final minute of this match. Madison. Vardy. Back to Madison. Lays it off. Vardy on the break. He's in behind Anderson. Comes in on the wing. Gets past Anderson. Crosses it across. Madison. Surely! Free kick against Madison. For diving. I surely thought that was a penalty. It wasn't a foul. It wasn't a foul. And that booking means Madison misses the next match. So Madison will miss the game against Leeds. That's really problematic for us. We're 94 minutes 40, and that is full time. So that is final from the King Power Stadium. Leicester City 0, Crystal Palace 0. Another point on the board for Leicester, but that only pulls us off of the basement pending the other results in the Premier League this week. With all that said, I'd like to thank you all for joining me today for the broadcast. We will be we'll be doing a separate post-match show. So I'm going to ask you all to keep an eye on our channel. We'll have another live show coming up where you'll be able to join in and share your live thoughts with some of the other members of our content team. So with that said, again, thank you all for joining me. Cheers. John saying the amount of rival fans salivating knowing how Leicester will get rated when they get relegated. Tim saying KDH had such a good chance to play Madison late. All things said, there's still a lot of this season left. We're at least picking up a point. We're off the basement. There's still time. It's a tough time to be a Leicester City supporter, but let's keep the faith. Thank you all for joining me this week. Again, I'm going to ask you to check out the channel and make your way over to our post-match show to share your thoughts. And I will see you next week for Leeds United.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.